Now with Google Docs being back up and stuff, let's talk about the trade deadline. But first, let's get into the fact of the video. So this one's another Montreal Canadiens because the Canadiens are pretty common in this. Henry, whatever, of the Montreal Canadiens holds the NHL record for the most Stanley Cup appearances as a player with two. Two. Scotty Bauman has the most appearances as coach, 9, in his 10 years. Across his 10 years with the Detroit Red Wings, Pittsburgh Penguins, and Montreal Canadiens. There you go, a little bit of facts on the Canadiens. We'll review them in the summer, along with the Jersey Countdown, Hat Countdown, and some other fun videos. So here we go, trade deadline. So we're going to start off with Boston, of course, the Atlantic Division, because that's how we're going to do it. They are 29, 10, and 12, 70 points. That overtime loss is not good. They're 5th in goals for, they're 6th in goals against. The UFAs are Nordstrom, Krug, Chara, Halak, and Miller. With Krug, he's probably gonna go. He's kind of asking for too much, and if he does stay, he's gonna stay for a lower salary. Chara, there is a chance that he can stay. There is a chance that he'll leave. There's also a chance that he'll retire. He might stay. He might stick around for another year and keep playing. Finish up his career, or maybe he'll just finish up his career now, or who knows? Maybe they got to play till he's like 60 or something. But regardless, he's probably going to stay with Boston unless if he leaves. Doesn't matter. It's okay. He was a good player. I'll salute him no matter what. Yaroslav Halak. They have to keep him. I'm pretty sure. Miller. I'm sure if they can work out a deal with him. There are RFAs, Bajork, DeBrusk, and Gretzlik. Bajork, I'm sure they can try to get a deal with him. DeBrusk, they need to try to keep. Gretzlik is kind of in the middle for me. I mean, like, they could keep him, or they could let him go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really hurt the team that much. Next up, Buffalo, 22, 20, and 7 with 57 points. They're 21st goals for, 16th goals against, and they have a lot of UFAs and RFAs. Their UFAs, Frolik, Sheary, VC, Gergensons, Larson, and Bogosian. Now, Frolik is probably going to go. Sheary, there's a chance that he'll stay or won't go. VC's probably going to go because he hasn't really developed the way until he wanted to. And Gergensons, I'm sure they can work out a deal with him. Larson, I don't even know which Larson it is anymore because there's so many in the league. He might go or he'll stay, whatever. Bogosian, there is a chance that he'll leave, but there is a chance that he'll stay, just like Chara. Who knows? Their 2020 RFAs, Reinhardt, Rodriguez, Montour, Olmark, Olofsson, Middlestat, and Lute. They need to keep Reinhardt because Sam Reinhardt's pretty good. Evan Rodriguez, not because his name is Evan, like my name. They need to let him go because, he needs to play for my favorite team, the Flyers. And B, I don't think they have the spaces. B, I don't think he's that good of a player. Brandon Montour, they should sign him. Olmark, they should be able to sign. He's a good AHL goalie. Olofsson, they should try to sign. Middlestat, they should keep. And a Lute, I'm sure they can work out a deal with him. Now we're moving on to the worst team in the league, the Detroit Red Wings. There will be a lot of videos with the Detroit Red Wings. I might be making a video in the future about talking about like analyzing the team and trying to make a rebuilding team off of them. They are 12, 35, and 4 with 28 points. They're 31st in goals for, 31st in goals against. Another team that has both that. Their RFAs are Green, Erickson, Daly, Biega, and Howard. I'm sure Green they can work a deal out with. If not, he's probably gonna go. But it matters if he's healthy. Erickson, I'm sure they can keep him. Daly for a lot of money, they could probably keep him. Biega, same with him. And Howard, I feel so bad for Howard. Everyone does pretty much. Howard is not like, he tries so hard, and then he has like no good team in front of him. So yeah, I feel bad for Howard. He should leave the team. Whatever, they need another goalie. Maybe they can go out for Yaroslav Askarov. Maybe. Their 2020 RFAs, Bertuzzi, Fabry, Bowie, Mantha, and Athanasiou. I'm sorry if I butcher some of these names. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video. Bertuzzi, I'm sure they can make a deal with him. Fabry, for a lot of money, they could probably make a deal. Bowie, alright. Mantha, he probably wants to leave, but he's probably gonna get a lot for a lot of money. Athanasiou, same thing for him, but I'm sure he's gonna stay. Next up, Florida. So they're 28, 16, and 5, 61 points. They're first in the league for goals for, but 25th for goals in defense. It seems like Bobrovsky doesn't even help them at all. Hoffman, Dadonov, Boyle, and Pisker, the 2020 UFAs. Hoffman, I'm sure they could try to make a deal out with him. Dadanoff, not too sure about him. Boyle, he's probably gonna retire. Pisk, we can make a deal with him. Uyghur, no, sorry, I didn't mention those names yet. 2020 phase, Uyghur, Brown, and Malgin. So, Uyghur, they can make a deal. Brown, Malgin, I'm sure they can try to work something out. Montreal, 22, 21, 7, 51 points. They kind of just, they were doing very good at the beginning, but then they just... So, yeah. 17th in goals for, 19th in goals against. Their UFAs are Thompson, Kovalchuk, Scandella, and Weiss. So, Thompson, we'll start with Thompson. I'm sure they can work out a deal for him. He's an alright player. Kovalchuk, he's probably going to go, and no team's going to sign him. He's probably just going to retire. He's only played 10 seasons, though. That's kind of weird. But he played a few years in the KHL, so that's why. Scandella, he's alright, I'd say. They could probably make a deal with him. Weiss, there's probably a chance that he'll stay. RFAs, Domi is probably the biggest one out of the three of these. Cousins and Meat. Domi, they need to make a deal on. Domi is a pretty good player that they acquired from the Coyotes for Galchenyuk, and then Galchenyuk went to the Penguins in the Kessel trade. Galchenyuk's just getting kicked around the league. So yeah, they should keep Domi. Cousins and Meat, I'm sure they can work a deal off with them too. Next up, Ottawa, the second worst team in the league. 17, 23, and 8, 42 points. 25th in goals for, 26th in goals against. A lot of UFAs. 2020 UFAs, Bodker, Nemestikov, Pajot, Ennis, Saborin, Hainsey, Borowiecki, DeMello, and Anderson. There's probably a lot of them there. Bodker they need to keep. Nemestikov they can try to keep. Pajot is probably going to go. Ennis, Saborin is going to go. I don't know if they're talking about Ron Hainsey, but I'm sure he's probably going to leave. Borowiecki, there is a chance that he can leave, but the Senators might be able to sign him. Who knows? DeMello, he wants out of Ottawa. And Anderson, his career's done. I don't even remember how many seasons he's played, but his career's done. Maybe he can go to some good team like Edmonton and then become an AHL goalie or a backup for Koskinen when he becomes a starter in the future. So yeah, 2020 RFAs: Tierney, Connor Brown, Anthony Duclair, Balzers, Yaros, and Chibelik. They need to sign Duclair. I'm gonna get that right off the bat. They need to sign Tierney. Connor Brown, Balzers, Yaros, and Chepelik are kind of minor players that you don't really need to worry about. So, yeah. Next up, Tampa. We just skipped through a million teams there. 29, 15, and 4 with 62 points. They're 5th for goals for, 8th for goals against. Their UFAs are Maroon, Shattenkirk, and Ruda. Maroon, they could probably sign. Shattenkirk, they need to keep him here. He's a pretty good player. Ruda, I'm sure they can work a deal out. RFAs, Sorelli, and Sergachev. Is Sorelli worth money? Okay, because they have. I remember last year when they signed Vasilevsky to that 8-year deal, and I was like, wow, I'm kind of surprised about that. Is Sorelli worth all that money? Probably not, but I'm sure they can make something work out. Sergachev they can probably sign as well. I think we're on our final team here. Toronto, 2015, 17, and 7 with 57 points. They're 4th in goals for, 27th goals against. Their UFAs are Spezza, Barry, Saisi, Hutchinson, and Muzzin. Spezza, his time is probably up. Barry, I'd say they could probably make a deal. Saisi, I don't know about him. Hutchinson, they need to keep because he's become a pretty good goalie. Muzzin is probably going to be out of Toronto because it's been a conversation for a while. Their RFAs are Dermott, Mikheyev, and Bako. Dermott is probably going to go. Mikheyev possibly could leave. Who knows? Maybe they can keep him. And Bako, I'm sure they can work a deal out. If not, he's gone. So, the buyers are sellers now. Boston is probably a buyer. Buffalo's a seller. Detroit's a seller, even though they have nothing to sell. Florida's a buyer. Montreal's a buyer. Ottawa's a buyer. Tampa's a seller. And Toronto is a buyer. That's it for the Atlantic. We did it in under 10 minutes. Good job for us. Let's get on to the Metropolitan Division, and we'll get done with this video. All right, let's move on to the Metropolitan Division. First off, the Hurricanes. 29, 18, and 3, 61 points. They're 10th in goals for, 3rd in goals against. That's pretty good goals against. Their UFAs, they don't have a lot of players, but they still have players. Haula, Edmondson, and Van Riemsdyk. Haula, he hasn't really turned out into the player that they wanted him to become in the Eric Haula with Nicholas Roy trade. So he's probably going to go. Edmondson, they should try to keep. Van Riemsdyk is probably going to stay. I don't see him moving on to another team. Maybe we can get the Van Riemsdyk brothers together. That would be awesome. Oh my god. I would love to buy a T Van Riemsdyk, and a J Van Riemsdyk, because I only have Nolan Patrick and a small Giroux jersey. I need a new one, and just a Blake Flyers jersey. So yeah, buy some of those name things off of CoolHockey.com. So maybe. All right, RFAs: Fuegal, Walmart, and Fleury. Fuegal is probably might go. Walmart, they might be able to make a deal with him. Fleury, I'm sure he's gonna stay. Maybe we can get the Fleury brother. Maybe we can get the Fleuries together. McFlurry. No. Columbus Blue Jackets, 27, 16, and 8, 62 points. They're 23rd goals for, second in goals against. The 2020 UFAs are Gerbe. Gerbe they can make a deal with. Their RFAs, they have a lot of scary players there. Dubois, Merzlikins, Korpisalo, and Milano. Let's get Dubois and Milano out of the way, because we're going to talk about Korpisalo and Merzlikins in a second. Dubois, they need to get him signed. Milano, they can probably try to make a deal out. If not, see you later, bud. Merzlikins and Korpisalo. Now, this is going to be a pretty long talk. So, Korpisalo gets injured, okay, in that one really dumb game where Tortorella got really angry about it. I didn't talk about it on the channel. I don't know why I did. I don't know why I didn't. I don't even know if the channel was around. Yeah, the channel was around. I just didn't talk about it, really. Because I'm a kid. I'm not the hockey guy. So, I'm not going to be able to cover everything. I have school and other things going on. I play hockey, so, yeah. So in that game, Korpisalo gets injured. And Korpisalo was doing very good this season after they lost Bobrovsky and a lot of their key players. A lot of players stepped up to the plate and did what they had to do to keep the team in the playoffs. And they actually got ahead of a lot of contending teams. Like, I think they're ahead of Carolina right now, and they're ahead of Philly, too. So, yeah, he gets injured, and then Merzlikins comes in and does even better than Korpisalo, in my opinion. So, the question is Merzlikins, could he become a starter later in his career? He's no Jordan Binnington, but, like, could he? Something that we're asking. But they need to get both Merzlikins and Korpisalo signed. So, it's kind of a must sign, because you have two good goalies here. Merzlikins and Korpisalo. Okay, moving on now to the New Jersey Devils. We just skipped like a million teams there. 17, 24, and 7. I'm pretty sure they're the 30th worst team in the league. 27th in goals for and 30th in goals against. Both really bad numbers. UFA Simmons, he's probably going to go. I don't see. His career is pretty much come to an end. Rooney, Green, Vantanen, and Domingue. Rooney, I'm sure they can work a deal out. Green is probably going to stay. I don't see him going to New York or some team like that. Vantanen, he's probably out of here. And Domingue, maybe they can keep him. I'm not too sure. Philly should pick up Domingue, and he could play with the AHL. I love Louis Domingue. Woof! I would be able to go to a lot of Phantoms games because I get to see some every 3 to 4 years or so. Me and my family will buy season tickets, and it's usually just me and my dad that goes. But then 90% of the tickets that we buy are just for me and my dad to go. And if I'm not with my dad, it's just me, him, and my stepmom, because my sister doesn't like hockey. She likes basketball. Or Kobe Bryant, by the way. So usually sometimes we buy season tickets, and then we can it's usually just me and my dad that will go. So, yeah, so I'd love to see Domingue play with the Phantoms. I love Louis Domingue, so that would be awesome. Anyways, enough of me flexing about how I can go to games. 2020 RFAs, Jesper Bratt and Mackenzie Blackwood. I don't see any of them staying with New Jersey. I just don't see them staying with them. All right, let's move into the N teams. Well, we're already in the M teams. New York Islanders, 29, 15, and 5, 63 points, 22nd in goals for, 3rd in goals against. Their UFAs are Martin, Brassard, Kuhnhackl, and Greiss. Greiss they need to keep. Kuhnhackl and Brassard they could try to keep. And Martin, I don't know about Martin. Maybe he's going to leave. RFAs, we have 2, and potentially if you're looking at this in a certain way, 3 big players here. Barzal, that's the first big one. Pulock, if you're looking at it, that's kind of the second one. Taze is probably the second one for me. Barzal, no doubt they need to keep Barzal. If they don't keep Barzal, they're screwed. Pulock, they can try to keep Taze. He's just been getting better and better and better. He's becoming the new Jonathan Taze, so they need to keep Devin Taze too. Moving on to the Rangers, 23, 21, and 4, 50 points. They're 13th in goals for, 22nd goals against. Their UFAs are Kreider and Fast. I'm sure they can keep Kreider fast. I'm sure they can work a deal out with him. So their RFAs are Strome. They can try to keep him. Lemieux, he's probably gonna go. I mean, he's probably gonna stay here. Georgiev is probably out of here because he might even be out here before the trade deadline. And D'Angelo, is possibly gonna go. So who knows where D'Angelo's gonna go? I don't know about that. So yeah. Moving on to my favorite team, the Philadelphia Flyers. 27, 17, and 6, 60 points. They're 12th in goals for, 14th in goals against. 2020 UFAs are Pitlick, Braun, and Elliott. I want Elliott out of here. I hate Elliott. Pitlick hasn't really been doing good, and Braun, I'd say he's all right. So we can stick him around. RFAs: Haig, Myers, Patrick, and Lindblom. Let's get Haig and Myers out of the way, and then we'll talk about Patrick, and then we'll talk about Lindblom because we got stuff to talk about them. Haig, I'm sure they can work out a deal with him. Myers, he's been okay in some points this season, but not like a star player. So maybe not. Patrick, he's been out with migraine disorder. So, I'm not sure if he's going to get a re-signing. I'm sure he is because he's still a really good player. They picked him up in 2017. But he hasn't played the whole season. Lindblom, of course they got to keep him. He's Oscar Strong. Why not? Oh, it's upstairs. Anyways, Pittsburgh, 31, 14, and 5, 67 points. They're 7th in goals for and 7th in goals against. Their UFA's got Chenyuk. He's out of here. Their RFAs, they do have a few RFAs though. McCann, Cowan, Simon, Pedersen, Ricola, Murray, and Jerry. Now, Pedersen actually, we can get rid of Pedersen here because Pedersen literally just got signed. I'll have to make a video about that right after I make this video. I have 3 videos to make today. Their RFAs, McCann, Quan, Simon, Ricola, Murray, and Jerry. McCann and Quan, maybe they can work a deal off him. Simon Ricola, I don't really know him that well, so probably not. I don't really care. Murray and Jari. Now, this is something we got to talk about. Even though I hate Pittsburgh because they're my least favorite team because I'm a Flyers fan, of course, you really expect me to have Pittsburgh my number 2 team. It's Arizona. Murray and Jari. Murray played all right. Murray, when back in 2017 before the Golden Knights came, Marc-Andre Fleury was the star of the team in 2016. He was doing pretty well. Then he got injured. Then Matt Murray comes in and literally dominates. So he plays a lot of 2016-17, and Fleury's the backup. And Fleury gets angry about that, but then Vegas picks him up in the expansion draft, and then there you go. Jari, he's been with the team as long as I can remember, pretty much. He hasn't really been up in the NHL. I've never really seen him play, except for the last time the Flyers played the Penguins. I remember Jari played that game, and we destroyed them. You better play Murray next time, guys. So, yeah, and then Jari comes in and dominates even better. So, now Murray is put into Fleury's place, and Jerry's in Murray's place. It's insane. There's going to be this other goalie that comes up as, like, Jaden Parvin or whatever, and he just comes up and plays dominant for the Penguins. That's actually someone I know. So, yeah, I don't know if he's going to stay with the Penguins. Murray might even be traded by the deadline. Jari, they need to sign him, though. Moving on to the next team. Is there any teams next? Yes, there is. There is Washington. Washington's next up. They're 33, 11, and 5 with 71 points. They're 3rd in goals for, 11th in goals against. Their UFAs are Gudaz and Holtby. Gudaz, small. They can keep him, though, I'm sure. Holtby, that's a huge one. Oh, my gosh. Holtby, I'm expecting them to sign him before the end of the season, maybe even. Because Holtby's still a good player. And, yeah, he basically, you might argue about this, but he more or less led them to the Stanley Cup final. Yeah. So they need to re-sign Holtby, probably like a 6-year contract, so they won't have to worry about it for a long time. Yeah. Their RFAs are Leipzig and Siggenflier. I don't really know those players, so maybe they can keep them. Buyers and sellers. I see the Hurricanes as sellers pretty much because they're in a good position. Columbus, probably sellers. New Jersey is probably going to be buying. Islanders are probably going to be buying. Rangers, maybe selling. Philly, we're probably going to buy some stuff. Pittsburgh, stay in place because they really don't have anything to do, really. They're in like, the second best position in the whole league. Washington, I'd say nothing as well. So, yeah, that's it for the trade deadline. That's it for this. I'll see you guys in February for the actual trade deadline trade videos. I have 2 videos to make. I have to make the Pedersen signing and then the career of Al McInnes, which is going to be pretty fun. And I have to do it in less than 3 hours. Wonderful. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. Check out the Discord and below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.